All right, thank you, Steve. So a couple of points here I want to bring up. Regarding the bylaws, first and foremost, I think any proposed amendments to those bylaws, work with your respective liaison, and then I'll work with that respective liaison in the DA's office to take that into consideration, first and foremost. Number two, we've standardized the bylaws, so we'll have to look at that as a whole for all 19 town boards and CACs as well, okay? The second part is, oh God, I forgot the second one now, what it was. Oh, yeah, I was going to say at the end, but I'll say that now, I guess. Okay, so the other thing is, not everybody, as I understand, signed in. So for those of us and all of us that are here today, that are town board members and CAC members, please make sure you sign in. It is required that you as town board and CAC members actually have training on an annual basis, and this training today will comply with that. As in year two, then, if there's no legislative changes, you'll just be asked to review this video again and acknowledge that you viewed it and you understand, okay? So I know there's at least one person here that did not sign in, but there may be others, so please make sure you sign in before you leave at the end of the day. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next presenter, okay? Well, I don't know where yours is. Are you going to, you got it? Okay. So I'd like to introduce Blanca Vasquez.
Hello, we're almost done. So I just want to introduce myself really quick. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Blanca Vasquez, and I've been with the county for about 23 years. Actually, it'll be 24 on Valentine's Day this coming up year. I've been in this position for about 14 years, and I've always covered the same town boards, which is both Paradise and Whitney. So I've known a lot of my town board members for a long time, and I like to actually refer to them as friends and town board members. I'm going to go over just a couple of tools with you, especially for the new town board members that just got appointed. We do have some resources that you all can use to kind of get an idea of what kind of issues you have in front of you. 90% of your agenda will be zoning items, and so I will just kind of give you some tools on how to do a little bit more further research than what's actually just emailed to you. So for this first part, we actually have parts of our internet that's more Internet Explorer friendly, and then some that are more Chrome friendly. So I'll let you know which is which. On this first part where it's going to be actually Internet Explorer friendly. So everyone knows our website, clarkcountynv.gov. And I've asked all the liaisons to send you these links so that you don't have to really take any crazy notes today. But this is going to be one of the more important areas you need to go to. So if you're starting from scratch, it's just clarkcountynv.gov. You go to your department, you go to administrative services. And then there is a drop-down menu here under divisions. You're going to scroll down to town and liaison services. And this is kind of the page that you all need to be on. If you go to information, here is where you will find all of the town boards listed by urban and by rural. So if you are an urban town board, Enterprise Lone Mountain, Lower Kyle Canyon, Paradise, Spring Valley, Sunrise Manor, Whitney, and Winchester, they're all located here on the left. Rurals are Bunkerville, Good Springs, Indian Springs, Laughlin, Moapa Town, Moapa Valley, Mountain Springs, Mount Charleston, Red Rock, Sandy Valley, and Searchlight. So I'm going to go to Paradise because this is my baby. And once you click on here, what you'll have available to you is address information for where your town board meets. There is a handy map here, so if you run into someone that's in your community that wants to attend the next town board meeting, you can send them this map, which is actually opens up in Google. And this, I'm not even going to open up. We just found out yesterday that these are broken, but every township or every town board has this link on your town page, and it will provide you the boundaries of where your township ends and where those streets are. So meeting time information is on here. Our posting locations are also on here, and then all of our agendas for the past year. So if you are looking to see an agenda item that maybe was held 6 months ago, you'll be able to find it here. If you're looking for something that was 2 years ago, call your liaison. As for minutes, minutes are always posted in the center column. And for you new town board members, everything is recorded, and we download that recording as an audio file, and it's here as well. Now, if you noticed there are items that are missing, let your liaison know. Our secretary for Paradise and Whitney, she's awesome, but every once in a while we get a little behind, so let us know and we'll make sure we get everything posted here. If you scroll down to the very end, this is where your information is listed. This is where your secretary's information is listed. And then these are the commissioners that have the portions of their districts within your township. So I encourage all of you to go to your, especially the new town board members, go to this page for your township so you can kind of get an idea of which commissioners have jurisdiction in your township. There is our contact information here. And then, of course, your bylaws, which if the bylaws should be approved, if not this month sometime, early next month. So just beware that's coming here soon. And then this will be updated as soon as those new bylaws are adopted. So that's that. Also want to go a little bit over the Town Board Resource Manual, which is located here. So about 10 years ago, before we went and we did everything online and we did it very friendly, we actually handed each town board member a binder that was about 4 to 5 inches thick. Most of it was open meeting law and most of it was ethics. So we thought, let's go ahead and put that online so you guys can grab it there. But what I wanted to kind of go over is this is all going to be taken off as of Monday, but I wanted to kind of show you a little bit of what you'll see if you wanted to go back and kind of rehear a lot of the presentations today. This is the format that it will be in, and we'll make sure that every presentation that you heard today, you'll see the video recording of it, and if they had a presentation, the presentation will be listed in that same box as an Access PDF file. So all of the presentations you've heard today will be located here. It probably won't be uploaded for about a week, maybe 2 weeks. We're working closely with our Channel 4 team to get that all organized and get it uploaded. So it'll take a couple of weeks before it's done. Alex, initially when we first started our meeting today, he went over all of these items here, an overview of what town boards are, so you'll be able to locate that here. These are all just friendly PDF files, and it'll go over a little bit more in detail of what the overview of town boards are. Planning procedures are just right underneath. Nancy is here. Nancy will cover a lot of this in her presentation as well. Our county departments and services, a lot of times as town board members, it's more than just administrative services and planning. You're going to dip a little bit into other departments, building department especially, community resources. A lot of you are going to be assigned to represent your town board on a community advisory board, and so that department that handles that is located here. So we just try to make it very easy for you to access the other departments that as town board members you'll find yourself working with. References and resources are also here as well. We put in our appeal form here. If you run into a neighbor that maybe is not happy with the decision that was made at a planning commission meeting, they'd want to appeal it to the Board of County Commissioners, you can maybe do a little bit, make it a little bit easier for them and forward them this link. They can go ahead and file it, but they do have to file in person. If you know someone that is interested in becoming a town board member, we also have that application here. We also have all of the maps for our Clark County and kind of how they overlap with all of the cities located here. And then open meeting law. Steve did a great job covering open meeting law. He had actually showed the actual open meeting law state book that's there, and it's actually located here. And if you wanted to download it, I know he mentioned that it might be in his pass out, but we actually have it located here on your town board resource manual. And so it's the same exact edition that he showed to you earlier today. Let's see, he covered ethics as well, and so we have both the Clark County and the Nevada State ethics located here. So if a lot of the information that you have additional questions, you kind of want to see how NRS reads about ethics, it's located here as well. And then here we've got some items with regards to running a successful meeting. So I think the most important document that we have here is this last item. We are going to be having each town board vote for their respective new chair and vice chair next week. So if you are a new chair and you've never done it before, I know one of my town board chairs uses this resource. She actually prints it out and she has it right there. And it actually just kind of verbatim, word by word, she has the information here on how she reads out an item, and she just wants to make sure that she's following it so that she opens it up to the public and she closes it to the public and she allows for her town board to speak. So it's all listed here. So if you're a little nervous about being chair and you're not really sure about this, we've listed it out step by step for you. So that takes care of the town board resource manual. Are there any questions? Good. Okay, this is the last part. If we go to so say you've got an item and say it's something that's very close to your home, or just something that's got a lot of interest, you've voted on it, and you kind of want to see what's happened to it at the Planning Commission or Board of County Commissions level. Say you can't get to the meeting, you can watch it online. So we have all of our Board of County Commissioner meetings and Planning Commission meetings. They are on our website live, and then they're recorded as well. So say you can't make the 7 o'clock meeting, you're not going to be able to watch it until the next day. It'll all be here. And that's located on our main homepage. And if you go to the meeting agendas, and actually, you know what? I'm going to get out of here. This is the part I told you about. You need to do it in Chrome. It's just more friendly in Chrome. So let's go ahead and type that in again. So, meeting agendas here. And if you scroll down, this is the Clark County Planning Commission first. And then if you scroll down on this side, these are the Zoning Commission meetings. So if you're just interested to make sure to see if something's on the agenda, those are all of these first links here. If you're interested in finding out what the recommendation and the notice of final action was, those recommendations are here. Now, it depends on your system. Sometimes, whether you're on an Apple or whether you're on a PC, if you want to watch it either live live is going to be somewhere else, but if you wanted to watch it after you have to kind of go back and forth to see what your computer likes better. And I think on my laptop, this one is better. So on this system, the first column is better. And you can actually scroll down to your particular item and it will pick up right where your item is.
Now we're back to item 25. Item 25, ZC 18940, zone change for class.
And that was our famous Nancy. She'll be talking next. So if you wanted to view live, it's not going to show it now because we don't have any live meetings going on now, but it'll be located just right here. And it'll be located very similarly to how you see down here. And you would just tune into whatever that live show is. And that's it. That's the end of mine. Yes.
I'd like to point out just one thing. Can you go on to an agenda, any of the urban ones?
Okay.
And what I want to point out, this is confusing. I know we have a lot of new town board members. On your agendas, I want to show you where it shows what board it is going to after you. So you'll see that it either says it's going to PC, which is Planning Commission, right there where it says PC 12219, or some of them go to BCC 12319. So when you are looking for a PC stands for Planning Commission, BCC stands for Board of County Commissioners. However, that's not what we call it on the site Blanca was just on. So can you go back to that?
That's a good point.
I have fielded this question many a time, so, and we will try to get this corrected.
Are we really going to try to get it corrected?
Well, so I've asked the webmaster. I'll keep trying.
Okay. Oh, so sorry. So we're going back here. We're going to meeting agendas.
So Planning Commission is called Planning Commission, so PC, Planning Commission. BCC, when we're referencing it on zoning items, go to the Zoning Commission, not that first BCC meeting that's up there. Those are our Tuesday meetings, so just to help you folks out there, BCC doesn't mean BCC on this page.
All right. Any other questions? All right. Well, thank you very much. I think, Alex, you're going to come up next? Okay.
All right, thank you, Blanca. Next, we have our Director of Comprehensive Planning, Nancy Edmondson, that's going to come up and talk a little bit about planning and give you information on that. So some boards are very heavy on planning items, others are not. But regardless, you could all have a planning item at some point in the future. So Nancy will talk a little bit about that now. Thank you.
Hello, Nancy Emerson, as was noted. I am the Director of Comprehensive Planning. The Department of Comprehensive Planning is not only current planning, which is what, if you have an item on your agenda, is what you see. We're also advanced planning, and all of you will see our advanced planners out at one point or another. Those are the planners that deal with the land use plans and the land use plan updates and the maps and that sort of thing. I also have nuclear waste. So we have an employee that deals mostly with Yucca Mountain and the transportation of nuclear debris, shall we say, through the valley, and he's very involved in making sure that emergency management knows what's going on and that sort of thing. I also have economic development under my department, in my department. In addition, I have the zoning plans check, which is the final sign-off on any building permit that comes through us. We make sure that it meets the zoning requirements. We also coordinate with Public Works. So the Department of Comprehensive Planning isn't only what you all will see. It's a number of different things. But what you will mainly see is going to be current planning, and that's going to be the applications that are coming in. I want to tell you all right now that everyone is not going to agree with what my staff says. Everyone else is going to have, and I believe you all do, you have knowledge of what your neighborhood is. We're looking at it from a technical standpoint. How does this application meet the code? And there's a lot of times you will not agree with us, and that's absolutely fine. Doesn't hurt our feelings. Please don't yell at my staff too much. And but we really try to do our best, and we try to take into account what the neighborhood is and what is going on. The other thing to keep in mind too, and this is kind of new this year, shall we say, is if you have an application before you that is a violation, you know that there's been problems going on and on and on, understand that the application, if it's part of a code enforcement case, we've doubled their price. So if you have somebody that has done something illegally, they've had to pay twice the application fee because it just isn't fair for us to have to review it and go look at it, code enforcement to have to go out and look at it, plus the town boards and the CACs to have to look at applications for things that were done illegally. The other thing to keep in mind is if your neighbor has put on an addition that might have been able to be an administrative application, now we don't allow those to be administrative applications. What we make them do is go through the entire process, because if they are a code enforcement case, we don't feel it's fair for us to just sign off on it. We want it to be vetted as every other application is. So those are kind of the things that you'll be seeing. Another thing, and this is more enterprise in Spring Valley, we're bringing an item to the Board of County Commissioners at their next meeting. Enterprise in Spring Valley are our biggest, have most of the things going on. Not Paradise has a lot going on, but Paradise is a lot going on are pretty much expansions to existing development, redevelopment, that sort of thing. But Enterprise in Spring Valley has a lot going on in the sense that new residential coming in, new commercial coming in, new uses are coming in. The land use plans are generally updated every 5 years. We've talked to the commissioners. We've made a decision that for Spring Valley and Enterprise, the land use plans are going to be updated every 2 years. What that does is it allows us to look at those two townships and make sure that the changes are being reflected in our land use plans. It also makes it so folks can't come in and apply for a nonconforming zone change without first going to the commissioner for the district and requesting they allow us to do it, because a land use plan is good for 2 years before somebody can come in and try to do an update. Everyone else's town land use plans, we're going to finish everything that we've been trying to get everything updated, and we're going to finish those, and then we're going to just do an update every year. People can come in and apply. We can talk to the town boards, see what they want, but it's just going to be a yearly update. It's not going to be the overall overreaching one that we've been having every 5 years. So that's kind of our news now, and I think that the Spring Valley and Enterprise are going to like that, because it's going to be a more rotation, and we're not going to have the 5-hour, or we hope not to have the 5-hour discussion items on their land use plans, because they're only done every 5 years. So do I have any questions on any of those? My initial, yes, sir.
So does that mean there won't be any more 5-year plans except for those 2 townships?
What that means for now is that we're doing a yearly plan, but it's not going to be the 5-year plan in the near future, because we just need to get, I guess you could say, everything up and going, but there's not going to be the major updates. We're going to have it every year if people come in and apply or we find that there's an issue. Did that answer your question?
I'm not sure. Will there or won't there be a 5-year plan?
You'll have your 5-year plan is updated right now, but we're not looking 5 years from now. We may not have one coming if we don't see anything major coming through. Is that a good way to put it? Okay. So let's see if I can, without my glasses, do what I'm planning on doing.
So will there be comprehensive plans then? Will be, like the township will be, their 5-year plans will be incorporated into the county comprehensive plan then?
The comprehensive plan is the overall document. So your five-year plans are always part of that document by reference. So your 5-year plan, and a lot of you will know that over the last few years, we've been trying to get our policies that are pretty much the same for all the town boards and the CACs into the main document, so that we're not constantly updating the same thing. For instance, if Enterprise and Paradise have the same policy and the same wants and the same directive, shall we say, we want that to be in the overall document. We don't want everyone to be repeated over and over again. So we will have the 5-year plan, but we will have yearly updates until such point that we need to really do the major one over again. Does that make sense? I know. Which township?
I'm Lori Marker with the Sandy Valley CAC.
Okay, so you're the South County plan?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and I honestly can't remember when you're going through. I don't think you have been done. So Megan, do you know when the last time we did South County?
I think we would be due for the 5 years right now because it's pretty soon after I started. But I think we're postponing that one a little bit to get some of the others caught up. And there haven't been a whole lot of changes in South County, and there's not a whole lot on the horizon that would need an update right now.
Nancy, I have another question. For those of us that are new on the board, is there a place we can find our town board, the 5-year plan for our area?
Absolutely, and that's what I was going to show you. Yay! So there's a couple of things that are new within the last 6 months to a year. The pre-application documents. So for the longest time, we did not make public what was submitted with with applications. The reason for that was that we had a district attorney at the time that said that those were proprietary. Therefore, we could not make them public. But our district attorney, Rob Warhola, who deals with comprehensive planning, has determined that as soon as they're submitted, they become public information. So there's two things that you can find on our website. One is always going to be the application that has been submitted, any plans that have been submitted. And then you can go back and in the write-up, you'll notice that we have a box that talks about previous applications. You can find them as well. So we're trying to keep it updated. There's some very old stuff right now that we're trying to convert into PDF because it's just old microfiche, that sort of thing. So you're not going to be able to find the old stuff, but most of the current information you're going to be able to find. So on the website, and I'm going to have to move this up if I can. Can I move this up because I'm blind as a bat? Alex?
Yes. I apologize.
Or,
I don't know how much you can move this.
You can take it down.
well, here, take that out. So what I'll do is I'll look at this. So this is us. Very simple. Advanced current economic development major projects, which is mostly going to be in the Southwest and Coyote Springs. So that's Summerlin, Southern Highlands, used to be Pinnacle Peaks, but they're done. Rhodes Ranch and Mountain's Edge are our major projects. So you can go to our library, and hopefully this will work, and it's not working. Bring up our comprehensive plan. And our comprehensive plan is not just your local area maps. It's going to be our conservation element, housing element, historic element, all of our land use, and then you can click on your area land use plan, and it pretty much gives you all the information that you're going to need. So, yes, sir.
So are other departments going to, let's say, flood control, water department stuff that operate on 5-year and 10-year plans? How's that going to be affected by your 1-year plans? Are you be able to coordinate that, or are we going to?
They're different, they're actually different agencies. They're not even, so the water district,
Operate on a 5-year flood control plan, have to have it in.
and if you look at the flood control plan, the area of the flood control plan today goes outside our disposal boundary. So we look at it, but what we're looking at is land use and trends and that sort of thing. So
My question is, if you're going, you operate on a 1-year plan, change.
we've always operated on a 1-year plan. The 5-year was the major update. We had a 1-year update no matter what. Okay. So again, if you want to look at your specific land use plan, you would come into comprehensive planning. In addition, let me see if I can, I am so bad with computers, everyone. We have, and it's not working. We have maps that are, anything that we've created, you can come in and find. We also have, we have an info mapper that is open web, and you can find basic information, which is going to be your zoning and that sort of thing. Of course, we have frequently asked questions. And we should have had those. I apologize, we're trying to redo everything. So, but you can find out your anything, I guess you could say the easiest thing to say is, as a town board or CAC member, you can find out basic questions and those answers, things that are maybe not intuitive, so, and we can go from there, but that's going to be on our, so. In addition, on this website, and I'm not going to try to find it, but on this website, I will send you the link. We have what we call pre-meeting documents, and again, those are the ones for the applications that you'll be looking at. And we also have our historic documents, and we'll send you the links for all of those. So everything that you need is at your fingertips, and it's going to be on the web if our link's not broken. So, but do I have any other questions? Yes, sir.
The decision to move to a 2-year major update in addition to the annual plan update, was that a PCC or is that a planning?
It was, we thought about it, and then we went and talked to the various board members at the end of last year, and they felt the same as we did, that a 5-year update in Enterprise in Spring Valley is just too long because things are constantly changing. The other concern that we were having is that at the end of the 2-year window where you have to get a board member to recommend that your non-conforming zone change comes in, at the end of the window, we were getting slammed, as were the town boards, with non-conforming zone change applications, and they were using, well, we haven't had an update in 2.5 years, therefore it makes sense for us to have whatever this non-conforming zone change is. So it was just to try to catch up and to make things a little more consistent. Enterprise is going to start this year. Spring Valley is going to start next year. And that's how the 2-year, that's how our rotation for those 2 town boards are going to be. And then the rest of them, as I said, are going to be every year. And I apologize, I don't have our sheet. It's going to be on the next agenda that will discuss how we're finishing off all of the 5-year land use plans. So you'll see what we're going to be working on over the next couple of years. And we have to have that approved by the board. So
it was approved by the board, right?
it will be, it's,
Decision, right?
no, it will be approved by the board. Okay? We were directed, but we have to bring it before the board.
I was asking
Yeah.
whether it was a departmental or board decision.
It was both. Any other questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you, Nancy.